Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. With me today is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Pretty good.
So today we are talking about the Crux Limitada Short Salomone. Cigar is a Salomone, obviously, 6-inch by 54 ring gauge. Comes out of the Plasencia factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Nicaraguan Ingenioso. Binder's Connecticut broadleaf. The filter's undisclosed. Blended by Jeff Hogan. Price point is $13.99. And the cigar was released in May of 2019. So, June, how about you take us through your overall experience with this cigar?
Um, so positive start. It's a medium strength, medium body, really nice mix of like cedar wood, minerals, roasted nuttiness. You retrohale the cigar, it just gives you more of what I just said. It started nice, but as the cigar kind of went through, starting from the second, third, I felt like a lot of that nuttiness was completely gone. It was just basically just cedar minerals for me. So I don't know. I feel like given that it's a Salomon, which is a special size, which is a size that kind of begs the cigar to be building up and transitional and like building in complexities, it didn't deliver any of that for me. It actually did quite the opposite of kind of like starting good and then kind of deteriorating as it went through.
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with heavily charred wood and intense cinnamon, but that mellowed fairly quickly. The wood became more defined as oak, and the cinnamon morphed into a baking spice. As the cigar progressed, it gained some mustiness in the final third. The baking spice left, and some dry earth joined in. Construction was perfect. Strength was slightly above medium the whole way. The cigar had a nice start in the first third, but then, as you mentioned, it kind of became average after that and kind of dropped down again in the final third. Um, this is a weird line for me because I've never really found a great experience in the Limitada line except for the show editions. The 2016, the initial release of the show edition, I absolutely loved. It was my cigar of the year, and I like the show editions since then, the follow-ups to that. But the Limitada, however, I can reference as the regular version of the Limitadas. It's a weird way to put it, but the ones that are not the show edition, I've struggled with, and I'm not sure why. Like the PB5 just didn't hit for me, things like that. So
Yeah.
it's a weird way to look at it. But um, you mentioned how what this Vitola is supposed to be, kind of historically. Um, you know, it's an interesting Vitola, but I just don't think that this one showed better than any of the previous Limitada releases. So
Yeah.
it's also got a high price point, $14. So it's probably not something I'm going to return to. I'm definitely going to smoke the IPCPR or the show editions if I'm going to come back to this Limitada line, just kind of where I find the sweet spot being.
It's
Um,
actually sorry, were you
no,
gonna
go
say
ahead.
something?
Go ahead.
So, knowing that I was going to smoke this for a review, the day before, actually smoked your cigar of the year back in 2016. Was
Yep.
that actually 16? Okay.
Yep.
I.e. the IPCPR show exclusive, using this special kind of, flagship wrapper that they have, right?
Yep.
So, uh, these cigars have, the IPCPR 16 and this short Salomon has absolutely zero DNA with each other. Um, and it's I smoked that 16. Granted, it's been about 3 years or so
Yep.
since we originally reviewed it, but man, it is still an amazing cigar, right? It was nutty, it was really sweet, it had nice citrus, it had nice like stone fruits, like it is still awesome. Like if we score that cigar right now, uh, I would say that I would safely say that would be my number one cigar so far,
Right.
right? So which kind of leads me to believe that um, either uh, they ran out of the tobaccos that they originally used,
Hmm.
under this Limitada line. Because unlike you, though, I actually enjoy the original PB5.
Hmm.
So the original PB5 and the 16 IPCP are fantastic cigars. Ever since then, using this tobacco, this wrapper, it's just been a miss. So, maybe the crop change. I mean, I assume they did, right? Because
Right.
originally when they said, then the PB5 and the 16 IPCPR, they're talking about how this is a very limited wrapper. They were able to source only a little bit about it. We never got the actual numbers, of course,
Right.
because the cigar industry, they don't disclose actual real numbers.
Yeah.
Um, but Yeah, I mean, I think the crop changed, man. Like these are completely different cigars.
Yep, I can see that. I mean, there's probably a reason that it was a limitada initially. They only had so much tobacco, and then when you go back, when you go to various vintages of the tobacco, maybe it's just not at the same level. So it's tough to kind of recreate the same thing. So getting the scores, June, you were the high score at 6.10. I gave it a 5.75. How do you think that 6.1 matched up for you?
Um, I mean, it's average tasting, but it got to that low 6 because I thought the construction was perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, same for me. I mean, overall, if you average out all the thirds, it's an overall average flavor profile. It went from good average to subpar for me. But like you, the construction was perfect for burn and draw. That's where it gets it into the high fives. But overall, it's a average flavor profile. So it's disappointing. I really wanted to like this cigar because of what it's done for the show releases, but unfortunately, that was not the case. All right, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.